Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. My name is Trevor Hooth, and I'm coming at you after a long game that the Dodgers and the Mets just played in. Well, they finally got a winner. The Dodgers won by 7-5. However, let's talk about what else happened around baseball, starting with the news. Reds pitcher Rhett Lauder was on a rehab assignment trying to return. Well, he left the game with an oblique strain that has been described as fairly significant. So, on the comeback trail, Rhett Lauder seems like he's going to be missing some more time now. Again, an oblique strain. Don't love to see that. He was supposed to be a big part of that Reds rotation. It's going to be longer until we see him as he leaves his rehab stint. The Reds also signed Garrett Hampson to an MLB deal. Reese Hines has been optioned to AAA. Carson Spears heads to the 60-day IL. A couple other moves. Hunter Green has been activated, and Lyon Richardson was optioned. So the Reds shaking things up with a couple moves there. Not to be outdone, shaking their roster up, though, by the Athletics. Lots of moves coming with them before their game today. They selected the contracts of Willie McIver, Logan Davidson. They were called Jacob Lopez, CJ Alexander, and Denzel Clark. Gio Urshela was placed on the 10-day IL. They optioned Carlos Duran, Johnny Pareda, and JJ Bleday, as well as DFA Seth Brown and Zach Geloff to the 60-day IL. Were you taking notes? Because that was a lot of stuff. The White Sox have reinstated Andrew Benintendi and Mike Tauchman. They also optioned Tim Elko and Andrew Vaughn, who were two of their first base options on the roster. So while in their absence, if I don't know if they're coming back up or anything, but Miguel Vargas and Lennon Sosa are going to be the players in the mix at first base for the White Sox. Maybe Vinny Capra, maybe this just makes some room for Vinny Capra to get regular at bats. He got non-regular at bats with the Brewers, did not hit well, but has hit well in the past as a minor leaguer. So I think they maybe want to give him some consistent run. And again, Miguel Vargas, Lennon Sosa, maybe adding first base eligibility here in fantasy soon, with Tim Elko and Andrew Vaughn being optioned. The Guardians' Ben Lively is undergoing Tommy John surgery. Their opening day starter is going to be on the shelf for the rest of the year and into next year. Ronald Acuna Jr. officially been activated. He played in the game. We'll talk about what he did in a little bit. But Orlando Arcia has been DFA'd to make room for Acuna on the roster. Another DFA, this one coming from Kansas City. Hunter Renfroe has been DFA'd, and Nick Lofton has been recalled by the team. The Nats select Dalen Lyle, one of their prospects, and Jacob Young heads to the IL. So now, they just brought up Robert Hassel. They're bringing up Dalen Lyle now. Pretty young outfield at the moment with Cruz, Wood, Lyle, and Hassel. So see who gets some playing time. You hope Dalen Lyle doesn't get, I don't know. We'll have to see. He earned it. He's played really well in AAA, but we'll see how that shakes out as time goes on. And finally, in the news, Kumar Rocker throws 3 shutout innings with 3 strikeouts on a rehab stint in AA. Now, rehab stats don't always matter, right? They're just throwing to throw. But Rocker did get up to 98 miles per hour, and it seems like he is looking more and more like the guy from last year than the guy we've seen so far this year. He's going to have to come back and prove something. He did not have a great start to the year, but in his rehab stint, looking pretty good. Looking at some highlights from the game today, a 2-home run game from Rafael Devers brings him to 12 home runs on the season. Aaron Judge also hit a home run, his 17th on the year, and it was a 2-hit game. He's hitting .398, still hovering around that 400 mark, which I'm told is pretty good. Jordan Beck with the Rockies, his 3rd multi-hit game in a row. He's had 2 hits in each of his last 3 games. He's hitting .344 with 2 home runs over his last 7. The dude has been hot. I mean, he struggled to start the year, got sent down, and since he's come back, it feels like all he's done is hit. I feel like I mentioned him on every single First Pitch podcast at this point. You mentioned Aaron Judge hit his 17th home run. Well, Cal Raleigh didn't want to be outdone. He hit his 17th as well in a 2-hit game for the Mariners. Also on the Mariners, Leody Taveras, who they just brought in, hit his 2nd home run since joining the Mariners, but he is hitting just .212. So Not necessarily the magic that Victor Robles had when he joined the Mariners, but I guess time will tell. Cam Smith with the Astros struggled out of the gate. He had a 3-hit game, including a double, and he's up to 254 on the year. So Cam Smith's starting to figure some stuff out, it seems like. Isaac Paredes hit his 11th home run. Just running through some stats here. Chase Meadroth with the White Sox, a pair of hits. He's hitting 309 on the year now. This is kind of what you expected from Meadroth. He's not going to have a ton of power, but he will hit the ball. He will get on base. Kind of a average stabilizer type if you were able to get him. But again, hitting 309 on the year, having a good debut season. Gavin Sheets is just continuing to mash. Since joining San Diego, he has 9 home runs. He hit his 9th home run in the game yesterday. That makes 3 home runs in his last 2 games. What can you say, man? He's just hitting the ball. You love to see it. Talked about Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back. He returned with a pair of hits, including a home run in his return to action. He had been hitting the cover off the ball in his rehab assignment. Well, turns out he can hit major league pitching too. Who knew? Home run when he returns to action. You love to see it. The star is back. Another average stabilizer had a good game. Stephen Kwan, I have him in almost every league just because if you play in average leagues, you want somebody who's going to hit for a good average. Well, that's Stephen Kwan. He had 3 hits, including a double. He's up to 322 on the year. On the other side of that scorecard, the Tigers had Torkelson hit a home run, his 13th home run, but he struck out in his other 3 at bats. And man, I love Torkelson. I am so happy to see him hitting the ball, but I'm just wondering how sustainable it is. It seems like he's slowed down quite a bit. So we'll have to see what happens the rest of the year. He's still hitting pretty well. Again, 13 home runs, but will he continue? My question with him remains, do you try to sell high right now, or do you hold on and hope that the arrow keeps pointing up? It's a tough question to answer. I mean, I only have him in 1 league and I'm competing, so I am just holding on to him. But man, that's a tough one. Even as a huge Torkelson fan and Tigers fan, obviously I want him to keep hitting, but will he? It's a hard one. Dalen Lyle mentioned he got called up by the Nationals. He went 1 for 2 in his debut before getting pinch hit for. O'Neal Cruz, 2 home runs, including a game-tying home run in the 9th. Now, his first home run was 117.9 miles per hour off the bat. That was a rocket. My gosh, the dude's got so much power. Pair of home runs in that game. Also, with a pair of home runs, I guess maybe the best hitter in baseball. I don't know. Well, obviously not Aaron Judge, but Pete Crow Armstrong. The dude just keeps hitting. A 2 home run game. He's got 14 homers on the year, a 3-hit game overall. He just keeps doing the thing. Hopefully you didn't give up on him. I mean, it was questions about his ability to hit coming into the year, and he's done nothing but answer those questions in a big way. Pete Crow Armstrong having a fantastic year. Seiya Suzuki also added a trio of hits, including a home run. Taylor Ward with the Angels, he had a home run in that game. That makes 9 games in a row with an extra base hit. That is a franchise record, as was said on the broadcast, and he has an extra base hit in 11 of his last 12 games. Taylor Ward is a machine right now, just extra base hit machine, kind of like Pete Crow Armstrong's been all year. But over his last 12 games or so, Taylor Ward just hitting the ball. Denzel Clark, in his debut, it wasn't a great debut. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Both strikeouts were looking. I'm a huge Denzel Clark fan. I'm going to defend him here for a minute. He showed really good plate discipline. He was not really chasing anything. He was fouling pitches off. Both of the strikeouts were looking, but they were pitches that were out of the zone. He caught a splitter from Zach Wheeler that was inside, and then I believe it was a curveball below the zone that he got rung up on. But the at-bats didn't look bad. Okay, you see 0 for 3 and 2 strikeouts. He did not look lost. He looked like he belonged there. It just a couple calls didn't go his way. I know you probably got a swing at him. They weren't super far off or anything, but definitely not lost and definitely showing signs that he can compete at the big league level. Excited to see where his career takes him. Speaking of the A's, they were down 4-0 in the bottom of the 9th, and Nick Kurtz comes to the plate. 3-run homer to bring the A's within one. They couldn't complete the comeback, but what a big moment for the young man. Just mashed a ball. Time to look at some starting pitching. Cade Povich with the Orioles goes 5 innings, struck out 6, gave up 1 earned run before the bullpen. Wound up giving 18 more runs. The Red Sox scored 19 runs. They only got to play one of the 2 games that they were anticipated to. They'll have a doubleheader later today. But Cade Povich, again, only gave up 1 earned run. Bullpen did not help him out. Gave up 18 more of them. The strikeouts have returned for Brian Bello, at least in this game against the Orioles, who struck out 7 over 4 innings, gave up a pair of earned runs and a walk. Bello's been pretty good since coming off the IL. It's just, fantasy, you kind of want the strikeouts there, and the strikeouts haven't been there, it seems like, but they were in this one. Talked a couple times about Miles Michaelis, and he just is putting together a string of good starts. It's not like standout fantasy starts, but he is putting together just a string of good starts. He did one again yesterday, 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 earned run. I might start calling him Miles Money Michaelis or Money Miles Michaelis. I don't know. I'll workshop a nickname. I'll get back to you. Noah Cameron with the Royals, 8 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings, 1 earned run, 1 walk. It seems like there's another shoe to drop. He's been fantastic. His ERA is 0.9 or somewhere around there at this point. He's been amazing. There is no doubt through his first handful of starts that he has been really good, but I just don't know if it's sustainable. There's going to be something that happens here, but I guess for now, I guess I buy in. Something's happening there, and it's really, really good. So Noah Cameron starting his MLB career off on the right foot. Pablo Lopez on the other side of that card goes 5 2/3, 5 strikeouts, gave up 7 hits, but only 1 earned run. Sean Burke with the White Sox goes 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Nick Pivetta with 7 strikeouts and 1 earned run, facing off against Chris Sale, who had 6 strikeouts and 7 innings. So Pivetta went 7 strikeouts and 6. Sale went 6 strikeouts and 7. So I guess they're just swapping. Both gave up only a single earned run. Going to stop here on this next one for a minute. Slade Ciccone with the Guardians. Solid again. 6 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 1 earned run. He was never a guy with high strikeout rates, and obviously his delay to the year and delay debuting with the Guardians, you didn't know what to expect, but he's come back and he's been getting swings and misses. Sustainable or not, I don't know. Honestly, haven't been able to watch, but numbers-wise, he is looking a lot better than what I would have expected him, coming back from injury and getting the strikeouts. Landon Roop throws 6 shutout innings, but only had 2 strikeouts. Remember, Roop's the guy who beat out Hayden Birdsong and Kyle Harrison out of spring training for that 5th rotation spot, and he's been good lately, but only 2 strikeouts in this past outing. Mackenzie Gore struck out 9, gave up 1 earned run over 6, but the headline with Mackenzie Gore, he left the game with leg tightness in the 7th inning after getting hit by a comebacker. The team, as far as I can tell, is not concerned about the injury or that he'll miss any extended period of time, but Mackenzie Gore's been great this year. You hate to see him leaving with an injury. Hopefully it is not too bad. Again, it was just after getting hit by a comebacker, so shouldn't be anything crazy, but monitor the news, watch the news, especially if you roster Mackenzie Gore, as I do. Paul Skeens, still good at baseball. 8 strikeouts over 6 innings, 1 earned run. Zach Wheeler, still good at baseball. 6 2/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. And I'll tell you, he was dueling against Jacob Lopez, who the A's just called up. And Lopez went 7 innings and struck out 8, gave up 1 earned run. So he went toe-to-toe with Zach Wheeler and did a really good job at it. And looking at a reliever from today, Ben Kasparius with the Dodgers, 6 strikeouts in 3 innings, earned a hold. Kasparius at one point was supposed to be joining the rotation, but Kershaw got the start in this one and threw 2 shutout innings. So, I guess did his job, but only threw a pair of innings. Kasparius, again, in relief, 2 strikeouts per innings, what he averaged, got the hold, been looking really good this year. Those were our games yesterday. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to look at some of the pitching matchups coming up today. I appreciate you joining me. Once again, my name is Trevor Hooth, and this is the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. And welcome back to the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. My name is Trevor Hooth. At least that's what they call me, probably because it's my name. So let's take a look at some of the games coming up today. Some of the pitching matchups, some of the pitchers that I am keeping an eye on. Matthew Liberatore to start. He's facing off against the Diamondbacks, but he's just turned himself into a must-watch. He's been fantastic so far this year. Kyle Harrison is the probable starter for the Giants. Interested to see how that goes. Harrison is slated to receive his first start at the big league level of the season against the Nationals. He has 7 strikeouts and 3 walks in 5 1/3 relief innings at the big league level this year. ERA's like a 3.38. I think he's given up a pair of runs across those relief outings. So Kyle Harrison getting his first start. We'll see. It seems like the Giants are trying to shake up that rotation. We know Hayden Birdsong joined it recently as well. Now, this one, 2 pitchers pitching in Colorado. I'm just going to say it because the names, it's Fried versus Freeland. Silly names. They're pitching in Colorado. So, just understand that that's in Colorado, and one of them is Kyle Freeland. Shane Baz versus Jose Barrios might be, I don't know. Shane Baz needs to turn it around. He's given up 14 earned runs over his last 3 starts. We'll see what he can do against the Blue Jays. Jose Barrios coming off of a solid outing against Detroit. Struck out 4 in 6 innings and I think gave up a pair of runs. But we'll have to see how that one shakes out. I mean, I've been more interested in Baz in this one just to see if he can turn it around. He's had a string of rough starts after a great beginning to the season. Things have kind of fallen off lately, so interested to see what he does against the Blue Jays. And finally, the pitching matchup of the day. It's not flashy. I mean, yesterday you had Paul Skeens and Zach Wheeler and, just a bunch of big-name pitchers, Mackenzie Gore. So not as flashy as some of the pitching yesterday, but the pitching matchup of the day, I'm going to go with Cubs versus Reds. Colin Ray versus Andrew Abbott. Ray is 3-0 with a 2.38 ERA and 32 strikeouts in 41 1/3 innings. And Andrew Abbott is 3-0 with a 1.80 ERA with 43 strikeouts and 35 innings. They are pitching in Cincinnati, so keep that in mind with the ballpark. But I don't know. 2 guys pitching really well. You never know what can happen. We'll have to see. That is my pitching matchup of the day. Make sure to check out Pitcher List. We have our top 100 pitchers that Nick does. We have the top 100 hitters from Scott Chu. We have all the reliever lists from Rick Graham. And just a litany of great content coming from our wonderful writers at Pitcher List. So make sure to check out the website. Join the Discord by joining PL Pro. Great conversations going on constantly for whatever your heart desires. We have general, redraft. We have dynasty. It's all over the map, anything you could want. So make sure to join that Discord. But for now, I appreciate you joining me, and I will see you guys next time. This has been another edition of the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List.